My name is Susan Ford. I grew up as a blind child and began to learn Braille in kindergarten. I now have a master's degree in education of blind children, and after some years in teaching and raising 2 children, I retired to Idaho. I have approached some adults who are blind and one adult who is not, and they all wanted to learn Braille. Christy is one of these adults. She can tell her story about how and when she learned Braille.
I'm Christy, and I've been low vision most of my life, but about 10 years ago, I wanted to expand my horizons a little better and found that just audiobooks and a talking computer and asking people again and again, what color is this yarn, was not enough for me anymore. I wanted to learn Braille, and my goal was to read and write Braille well enough that I could make labels for things like spices or pill bottles, or make a grocery list or things like that. And I wanted to read well enough that I could read a Braille Bible, read a library book in Braille, and read a women's magazine. And now I can do all of these things, and I'm very excited about that. The very first time that I was able to actually read a Braille magazine, I followed the directions that were in the craft section for a crocheted item, and then I completed that item, and I felt like a gold medal winner when that happened. That was a big accomplishment. I surprised my grandchildren with Braille labels on their gifts, and they're tickled about that, and I taught them how to read the Braille alphabet for that. So I'm very thankful that I had a very fine tutor, and that was Susan. And she helped me in improving my Braille skills and being able to reach those goals, and I'm very pleased about reaching those goals. So I always say that if a grandma with good old stiff fingers can learn to read Braille, then you can learn to read Braille too and expand your own horizons. So have fun with it.
Amelia has learned how to use a Braille note taker and uses it in a number of ways.
My name is Amelia. I am a junior in high school, and I'm going to talk about how I use Braille in school. So the Braille Note Touch Plus is the device that I use, and I use it for reading and writing Braille. I use Braille for most of my classes in school, and I use the same software. Thanks to having the Braille Note Touch Plus, I use the same software that the school uses. I type out my assignments in Braille. Then when I email my assignments to my teachers, it translates into print so that my teachers can read it. And I also read books on this device. When I type, and this is where I read. Down here, this is a refreshable Braille display.
This is Gareth Brown, and he's going to show something about writing with the Braille Note Plus.
Hi, my name is Gareth Brown, and I love using the Braille Note. And so I am in 7th grade, and so The usual classes that I use Braille is almost all of them, except for orchestra. So basically, this thing has a keyboard that you can type on. There's a physical keyboard, and so there's a cell there that you have your left hand, which is dots 1, 2, 3, and then there's your right hand, there's dot 4, 5, and 6, and then you use your left pinky for backspace, your right pinky for enter, and then your thumbs for the space bar. So I'm just gonna write a couple of stuff to make it make sense on the physical keyboard here. Let's see. What do I write?
Hi, my name is.
Hi there, I'm Alisons Story. I am a teacher here in the area, and as I lost my vision, I got connected with the National Federation of the Blind and discovered that they have a program for children to enhance their Braille. As I grew up, I was not blind, I didn't need Braille, and as I went blind, I realized that Braille was a really crucial piece of my training that I wanted to make sure I could use. And so I've learned Braille, and when I heard that I could work with kids on Braille, I immediately volunteered for the Bell Academy, which is Braille Enrichment for Literacy and Learning. And it has been a joint project between the National Federation of the Blind and the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, who sponsors the program. And it's an opportunity in the summer for students to spend time on a daily basis for a couple of weeks focusing on Braille skills, reading Braille and writing Braille, and just using it in sort of everyday situations, as well as learning other skills like mobility and daily living skills in the kitchen and around the home. And it's just a really valuable experience for the students. They get to spend time with other students who are blind, and they also get to spend time with role models, because almost all of our teachers are blind or visually impaired. And so it's just been a wonderful experience for me to be able to be part of that community where Braille is making a difference in kids' lives. And now I'd like to introduce you to one of our Bell students, Dominic. He is in first grade right now.
My teacher is Mrs. Freeze.
Would you be willing to do some reading with me?
Yes, I would.
All right. What is our book today?
Johnny Appleseed.
All right. Take it away.
Huh?
Do you want to start reading?
Wait, what does take it away mean?
It means, do you want to start reading?
Yes.
So that works. Okay.
And time, right?
Yeah, .5T. Yeah, good.
And time for me to keep walking.
Dominic and I have been reading Braille over the last few months together to help him improve his fluency. But he's been learning Braille for about 3 years, I think. And he has finished learning all the symbols that represent the alphabet and is now working on the contractions, which is kind of a shorthand for Braille, so that he can read faster. And there are about 180 contractions, and he is well on his way to reading those so that his reading can be efficient.
Braille is a versatile mode of reading, just as print is. Things have changed greatly since I began to learn Braille in 1950. Some people would have you believe that Braille is becoming obsolete, but since there are things you can do with Braille that do not lend themselves well to technology, we're glad to continue to have Braille. This is the one volume of I don't know how many from the World Book Encyclopedia, and you will see that it's a pretty good sized book, and there are more than 100 volumes in it. The National Federation of the Blind continues to see the importance of Braille, and we teach it often. Braille is here to stay.